Hello everyone, my name is Bean, and in today's episode we're going to be turning the villager trading hall that I built last episode into a powerful money-making machine. So all of these villagers are willing to buy things from me. For instance, the farmers right here will buy potatoes, the blacksmith or the armor smiths will buy coal, and the stonemasons will buy clay, stuff like that. And the goal of us selling them things is to get emeralds and experience points. You get a lot of experience points for trading. So today's episode, we are going to be mostly focusing on these three guys right here, these shepherds. So right here, for instance, this guy will buy 18 wool from me for an emerald, which is a good deal because wool is fairly useless other than beds for netherite mining. But we don't have a lot of wool, even though we do have a rogue villager and some sheep here. All of these sheep, after shearing them, will net about 9 to 13 wool, which is fine. I could always breed more sheep, but I mean, that's a lot of noise that I don't want to hear all the time. However, there is a way to automate this process, which I believe is what we're going to be doing in this space under here. We might as well use this empty space to automate the production of wool. That way, after several hours of playing, we will have a buttload of wool, and then we can trade it to these guys and get a load of emeralds and experience points, which is why we built this whole thing. And of course, we can automate farms for the majority of these villagers, not all of them, but the majority of them, and we will. But for now, we're just going to focus on the shepherds. Right here in the project box, we have the materials necessary to automate wool production. We need 6 hoppers, 6 dispensers, 6 observers, 6 chests, or 12 chests if you want double chests, 6 hopper minecarts, a few rails, doesn't matter how many, just some redstone, the dyes of the colors. So my Fletcher, or my shepherds, and that are now loaded in up there, they each have a different color. One of them wants white wool, one of them wants gray wool, and one of them wants black wool. So we just gotta have dyes accordingly. Glass and grass. So we'll just go ahead and grab all of this here. And each of these sort of cells, I'll call them, individual cells for the sheep, is identical to the next one. So in order to make sure we have proper space for maintaining this farm, we are going to make this back row not part of the farm. So that way we can walk back here and it not really be an issue. Here, hold on. Let me turn the friendly creatures down. Villagers are kind of loud. Alright, that's a little better. Alright, so that's sort of like our maintenance hallway. So first we must decide where exactly the sheep are going to be standing. So if we have a sheep standing right here, we'll go ahead and mark that. The sheep standing right there. We're going to need a dispenser right there. So this dispenser will eventually have shears, which I guess I forgot to put in the project box. And that's all for this floor, sort of, in a sense. Oops. Underneath it is where the magic happens. So we are going to actually have to step into our maintenance hallway here. We need to grab our observers, and we need to make sure that the observer is pointing with the face at this grass block, the one that the sheep will be standing on. Dang it. Efficiency 5 on a shovel goes crazy. So the face is looking at this grass block where the sheep is standing. Then behind it, all we need is a block. So I guess we can just go ahead and use grass. And a redstone on top of that. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So let's see, let's go grab some shears here. Alrighty, shears in the dispenser. And now all that's really left to do is put the, oops, not that. All that's left to do is put the glass around the unit and put the sheep in. I'll explain how all this works in 1 second. But first, Let's make this one of the black sheep. So we gotta grab our 8 glass here and 1 glass die, or black die. Then we can build this here, like so. Oh, we're gonna need some more. So I'll actually have to end up going to get more black dye since I'll still have to dye the sheep. Now this is actually important to use glass even this far back, and here is why. Because the way this farm works is when the sheep standing on that block eats the grass, that block is updated. It's changed from a grass block to a dirt block. And now the observer that's under the ground watches blocks, and it watches for an update. And so when this block updates, it'll shoot out a tiny little blip of a redstone signal, which will fire the dispenser. And the dispenser has shears in it, so the sheep standing right in front of the dispenser will be sheared. So now where does the wool go, you might ask? Well, that's the next part we're going to build under here. So obviously we're going to have to pick up the wool through a block, which is why hopper minecarts are so useful, because they can suck items through blocks. So if we've got our chest here, and we can temporarily take that out. See, you heard it fire when I destroyed that block, that little click. Then we can have our hopper attached right on the back of there. So now any item tossed in there will end up in this chest. Then we can grab our rails. Now it's facing the wrong way. We really want it to be facing this way. Then we can destroy that. Place a block back there. Grab this, put it down there, and you want to take out the rail, just like so. Make sure that's nice and in there, and we can put the grass back. There we go. So now, every time this system is fired, and the wool ends up there on the ground, the hopper minecart will pick it up, go into the regular minecart, or the regular hopper, and into this chest. Now, we can obviously decorate this to make it not look like a hole in the ground, but that is the entire unit. So now you're just going to copy this for each of the different colors. I think I'm going to do a pattern to make it look nicer, since I'm going to do 2 cells for each color. So I'm going to do black, gray, white, white, gray, black. At least as much space as it requires. So I'll catch you guys when I'm done with that. Alrighty, so I'm actually a lot shorter on materials than I thought I was. They're not like expensive materials, but it is going to take a bit of time to go get enough sand for a lot more glass, more squids for dyes, and just stuff like that. So unfortunately, we are out of time, at least as far as the sheep farm goes, but it looks pretty good. We're going to have the gradient here. This can just be an entrance to whatever we can put in that back corner, and then we'll have 3 more of these right along here. Then hopefully we will have some booming trading going on. But if you guys look in my chat here, I have gotten a couple of achievements between episodes, remote getaway and the city at the end of the game. So I have been exploring the end a bit, trying to get some elytra. So yeah, I'll keep working on that between episodes. I have found one city. Obviously I got the city at the end of the game achievement. However, it did not have any elytra, although we got some shulker shells and a few diamonds from that. So just don't be surprised if maybe perhaps by next episode I'm flying around in the air, doing stuff like that. So yeah, I'll be working on that between episodes. I'll show some of that next episode once I've got it done, just some of the highlights, because exploring the end can be quite boring and take several hours. Also, before we go, my previously bland stone brick shell has been converted into ruined castle walls. I also did that between episode, and I think it looks pretty good. But that's all we have time for today. Hopefully the little sheep farm tutorial will be useful in your worlds, and if you have any questions about it, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching. See ya.